So this is my 2018 Guitar Center Gibson Les Paul Traditional. It's a satin, as you can see, and after years of playing it, I've glossed up certain areas, like you can see around here where my forearm would buff it out as I was playing, and then up here in this area where my thumb kind of gets planted sometimes, and where I pick from, it's just starting to shine up. You can see there in the ring, just right through there, it's just real shiny, and it's starting to get real uneven all around. So I'm gonna fix this guitar up and give it a really good once over, and I'm gonna get it to sit in tune a little bit better and just look better all around. But what I started doing was taking virtuoso polish to all of the satin spots, and you can see the headstock here is a perfect example of the difference. That's just one or two quick rounds with my hand and a cloth, and that's the difference that I've already gotten from some polishing work. It's smoother already, and here's a good example of the play, what playing the wood will actually do. You see how glossy the whole neck is now from me playing it, whereas up there on the headstock, it's still really diffused when the light hits it. It's just still real satiny, whereas the whole rest of the neck is just real shiny. So we're going to use some virtuoso premium polish, and it will get the whole guitar nice and glossy. I also use some swirl remover in some spots just to kind of help clear up, any of the messiness from using the polish. It's easy to do this. It really is. You just take everything off the guitar and, kind of don't be as messy as I am in some of the spots. You try not to let it goop up. If it does goop up and get into any of the cavities, don't wipe it back onto the pad. I had several different levels of pads. Like right here, it gooped up. I don't want to wipe that onto the pad. I want to get that out of there because that's going to have like wood chips and stuff, and then that'll kind of mess up the whole glossy process. And I had several different types of pads to help, with the polishing process. I used a softer one for the actual polish, and then a buffer here for the final rounds of it, just to kind of even everything up. And my goal was to just make the whole thing glossy all around, everywhere that I could, front and back. I really like this guitar. It's not flamey. It's not like anything super special. It's just got some decent wood grain to it. And the polishing helped all of it kind of just pop. You'll see it a little bit better when I'm done, and I have better camera work at the very end here. But you can see already the whole guitar just kind of pops a little bit more. It just looks better, feels better, and the top is now a little more protected. The satin finish can chip and get scratched up real easily. And I got these tuners. I don't love them. They're the Grovers, so they drop right in place, but they're the auto locks, and I should have gotten the manual locks. I prefer the type that you tighten up from the back here of the headstock instead of tightening, with the strings as you wind the strings. So one of the next steps is going to be making that even better. But here's some before and after shots, and some lemon oil on the neck, and all of that. I love the way that guitar looks now. I covered the pickups with chrome covers. You can see here I am really scratching this thing up. What do you guys think? Should I put a pick guard on it or just leave it as is and let it start to go? It's not as bad really as that picture makes it look. So let's check out the tuning before the String Butler. So the G and the B strings, you see they're real wide, going to the tuners. The String Butler is going to help with the issues of the way that the strings just don't come off the nut quite properly. There's a couple of locking spots that will hold the strings and give them a straight pull off of the nut. This is one of the newer string butlers, and it's actually just going to replace the truss rod cover. There are a few different versions of the string butler, as you can see once I flip this picture around. There is this one that I have, and then there's the kind that actually fit in underneath the tuners, your E tuners, and then they'll catch the A, D, G, and B strings. And there's different sizes, so you have to make sure you do some measuring. This is a really convenient one because all you have to do is take off that truss rod cover and you're set. And it's really convenient because if you happen to have a guitar that isn't a Les Paul and maybe it has a different type of truss rod cover, has a different layout, you'll be okay. You see that it's slotted there so that even a truss rod cover like this one, where it has 3 screws, you're going to have slotting that accounts for the different layouts of these truss rod covers. So we'll go back over to the Les Paul, and you can see that that actually only has 2 screws. I'm just going to loosen these strings and pop this thing in here real quick. It doesn't take much time. I think I was done doing this in literally 5 minutes. The only issue that I really had was just getting the strings back into these stupid posts. I'm going to say it again. I just don't like these Grover auto locking ones. I guess they're kind of based off of the PRS wing tuners, you know, that when you do the wing tuners, they just kind of, as you tighten them, they grab the string really well. These just, they're just too weird for me. I keep messing up putting the strings in and then having to take it out and try to put it in again, and then I don't know. I'm not happy with those, so I'm going to end up getting the manual locking ones. They just kind of seem to be a little bit better. Also, these are a little tall, and it seems like you'll see at the end, once I got the actual string butler in place, that the string pull is straight, but that they kind of go back up again as opposed to going with the tilt of the headstock. So the manual locking tuners, I think, really is going to be the way to go. It's going to have a lower string pull, but you know, you can see I've already popped the truss rod cover off, the original one, and I'm putting this new one in. They have a couple of different types. The posts on this one are black. They have some brass ones, and then they have some silver ones as well. The brass ones were out of stock, so I was going to order that, but I figured this would look nice and stealthy. I'm going to get these strings all back on this guitar and give it another test and see how the G string, especially how it handles the G strings and the B strings. But you can see now I have a nice straight pull, but it's tall. They are just coming back up. Those high strings are just kind of still coming back up. I don't love those tuners. I'll say it far too many times in this video, but the String Butler looks great, and we're going to check out its performance here. There's a couple of times where I knocked it out of tune still, but I felt like it was not slipping anywhere near as much as it was before putting on the String Butler. I don't love these tuners. I think I probably mentioned it. The ones that are on here are the Grovers, and they're the auto locks, and they're just a little proud. They stand a little taller than what I would like, but man, the String Butler, that looks slick. I really like this version of it, the way that it just replaces your truss rod cover. And it fixes your string alignment for those strings. Coming off the nut is now nice and straight. And you saw the tuner. It was just holding better. It just especially the B and the G strings, just holding better. That's cool. And I didn't even put any lube or anything like that up on the nut here. Just regular old, just straight up nut, no sauce. So that's how that is right now. Yeah, I'm happy. What do you guys think? What do you think of the way that this came out? I'm happy. I think having a glossy like this, filling up the body, getting rid of the non-glossy spots, just kind of everything about the way that this looks now to me is just great. I swear, it's so hard to tell if that's a one-piece top. I really feel like it's a one-piece top. I don't see a seam line. And what I did think was a seam line moves with the grain and kind of changes towards the end there, and I didn't see a seam line in the maple when I took the top off, but I just feel like that wouldn't be the case. It's a Guitar Center special thing, whatever it is, but I love the way that the Virtuoso polish took care of the headstock and the body, evened it all up. Look, it's reflective as heck now. You definitely couldn't do that before. You couldn't see anything reflecting in it. It was just a dull, nice satin look, which looked great when I first got it. But I'm really happy with the way that it came out, and I'm really impressed with the String Butler. I think that's pretty cool. I didn't think it would work as well as what I just captured here, just messing around for the first couple minutes. So that's going to stay on there. I do think I'm going to get the Grover locking tuners instead of these Roto locks, because I just don't like these. They're too fiddly to change strings. Anyways, let me know what you think down below, and let me know if you have any experience with the String Butler, because I like it. I think it's pretty cool. All right, you guys, thanks for being here, and take care. I'll see you on the next one.